Well, we had security cameras which could go back and view the space. It appears what caused the fire here was a stain rag that possibly was accidentally knocked into a garbage can. And over a period of time, they begin to create their own heat and combust. The interesting thing is that day, we weren't staining anything. That's why I went back and looked at how long it takes to do that. It can happen up to 2 weeks after they're there, as long as they're wet. And it takes just that garbage being piled on top of that that would retain that heat. So it could have been, the day before. It was about a half hour of smoking. So it takes a little while. So my guess is it was not a pile of rags, but more like one, under some garbage that finally just caught fire. And then caught one of the paint racks on fire. We had training on how this happens. We've recreated it out here in the parking lot multiple times, but it only takes someone to get distracted for a minute, called away from their station, and forget where they left off for something like that to happen. We have protocols of emptying the garbages every night. For some reason, that was not done that particular day, and you can see what happens. It only takes a moment to make a mistake. I have literally done this for almost 40 years and never had a fire. The proper way to dispose of those rags is to read the label. Each can will have a disposal of that, and some require that you put them in a can of water and seal it. Others, have different recommendations, but that is the standard, is to wet them down and dispose of them in a can, closed up tight. Empty everything every night, dispose of the rags. We dispose of our rags in a barrel, and we have them shipped off-site for disposal, and it's airtight. If you lay them out and let them dry, which is not necessarily recommended either, they won't combust. But in a pile, in a bundle, they will create their own heat, melt plastic. They can do quite a few things, quite a bit of damage. I've seen whole houses burned in new construction sites due to stain rags piled in the middle of the floor overnight. Many homeowners will do all kinds of stuff to try to reuse those rags. Don't do it. Just dispose of them. Rags are pretty cheap in the end.